Get set, Gaston County. It's time for us to go into a new school year.
Welcome to Convocation. This back-to-school program for employees serves as our official kickoff event to celebrate the beginning of school in Gaston County. On Wednesday, August 17th, the green flag drops, the buses roll, the bells will ring, and all systems are a go as we begin the 22-23 academic year. To say this is a very busy time for our employees, well, that is an understatement. You are working hard and taking care of those final preparations to make sure that everything is ready for your students when they arrive at school on opening day. This year, we expect to welcome approximately 30,000 students, and we are very pleased to have each one of them with us in Gaston County Schools. I'll be back with you later in the program to share more about our brand new school year. And now, with a special message from the Gaston County Board of Education, here is our chairman, Mr. Jeff Ramsey.
Hello, Gaston County Schools. Another year is here, and the Board of Education is pleased to welcome our students, teachers, and all employees back to school. We know that you will go the extra mile this year to make sure that our students are successful. As educators, you do whatever is necessary, and for that, we are grateful. Our students are better people because of your influence, and your influence is what makes us a better community. The new school year provides many wonderful opportunities for our students to engage in learning, making discoveries, and grow both inside and outside the classroom. Our students will thrive because of the time and energy you will put into teaching them, guiding them, and supporting them. The Board of Education joins me in wishing you a productive school year. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing all that you will do to make this year one of our very best. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This is our happiest time of year as we get geared up to welcome our students back to class. It's been 10 years since I had the honor of serving as the Gaston County Teacher of the Year and the Southwest Region Teacher of the Year. 10 years. Wow, it's hard to believe. So I guess the saying is true. Time really does fly when you're having fun. I love what I do as an educator, and I try to make every day interesting and meaningful for my students. I am happy to introduce Stephen Loudon of W.C. Friday Middle School, who is the current Gaston County Teacher of the Year. But instead of an introduction that sounds like I'm reading his resume, I want to share a few fun details about Mr. Loudon. His favorite food is tacos. And yes, he can cook if he follows the recipe precisely. When he was in school, biology was his worst subject. Math was more his forte. And he has met Katy Perry, but long before she was ever known as Katy Perry. So, Mr. Loudon, the stage is yours. Take it away. And to all of my colleagues, remember to be happy this year.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for that fun and happy introduction. I guess whenever you're introduced by a middle school band director, having some music just comes along with the territory. As this year's Teacher of the Year, representing all educators in Gaston County Schools, it is a pleasure to say, welcome to a new school year. Will this be a normal school year? That is the one question that everybody has been asking. The answer is yes. Well, maybe, we hope so. It all depends on COVID. Think about it for a moment. The last time we had a normal school year was 2018-2019. That was 4 years ago, and a lot has happened since then. Sometimes what goes on outside the school is hard to control, but I like to think that teachers have the ability to define what's normal for inside the classroom. So here's my advice. Do all that you can to create a welcoming and safe environment for your students. Let them know that they are in the best classroom ever because you, as the teacher, you care about their success. Build positive relationships with your students. Get to know them. Go the distance for them. Help them, and make sure they know that you are on the same team. It is also important to make sure your parents know that their child is in a classroom with a teacher who wants and expects them to learn. Set high expectations and let parents know that their child will be challenged, but in a way that will help them grow and flourish. For our new teachers, be patient with yourself. Plan the various aspects of your day and surround yourself with teacher friends who will help and encourage you. As teachers, our students deserve our very best. They are counting on us. Our public schools offer a quality education for every child, and the opportunities we provide to them open doors and give them a path toward success and a meaningful life. Our normal for this school year is to concentrate on the parts of your job that make it all worth it. Stay positive, stay focused on students, and always remember that our work is important. We are influencing lives, we are developing future leaders, and we are making our community stronger. Best wishes to each of you for a wonderful school year.
The best thing about being a teacher is going in and having an impact on these students. They look at us for advice on what they should do going into the post-secondary world. I enjoy trying to teach them to be as independent as possible.
I love being around the kids. I love that it's different every single day. I love how excited they get when they do come into the classroom.
Even in second grade, to see how far I can push the kids, to see how much I can give them and the depth of instruction I can give them, and just really seeing them perform. It's really interesting.
I enjoy making relationships and building relationships with my students daily and helping them succeed in life.
I am beyond excited about seeing my students for the first day of school. I can't wait to see their faces light up and to impart wisdom and learning experience for them in life.
I am so excited. I've been thinking about it all summer long. I did summer school, so it wasn't quite as big of a break from the kids, and I am ready for August 17th.
Oh, very excited because they come in ready to learn and very excited about being here. And the challenge becomes keeping that enthusiasm up.
Well, I'm just going to be as creative as possible. You know, I've been wanting to teach for a long time, and I have a lot of ideas that I've thought of over the years. I want to take those and the tools that I've learned here at TIPS and in other teacher training programs, put them together, see what works, and then pass it on.
I'll make this a great year for my students by challenging them in the class and also having fun while doing it, maintaining a positive learning environment the entire time they're there, and hoping that they are wanting to come to Mr. Julian's class every day they arrive at school.
I'll say my superpower is all the energy I bring in the classroom. I definitely have to keep up with all those little 7- and 8-year-olds running around.
As a teacher, my superpower is innovation.
My newly acquired teacher superpower is flexibility, because you have to be flexible to handle what comes each and every day.
I think my only superpower is at 77 years old that I'm still able to do this. I wake up every morning, I come early, I stay late, because everything I do is for these kids. I don't have to be here, I choose to be here.
Let's take a look at some of our good news from the past year to get a glimpse of how we're excelling in academics, athletics, the fine arts, and other areas. Seniors in the class of 2022 received numerous scholarships to attend some of the most prestigious colleges across our state and nation. We had a Moorhead Kane Scholar, a Levine Scholar, a Quest Bridge Scholar, and a National Merit Scholarship winner. We even had a senior earn an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy. We had students perform with the All-State Band and All-State Chorus, win top awards in local and regional art shows, and take the stage again with the return of in-person theater productions. Gaston County Schools was represented at the International Science Fair in Atlanta, and we had students serving as the state level president and vice president of the Student Government Association. One of our students had her poem included in a national publication. Our spelling bee champion advanced to the 4th round of the national competition, and we had one of the 5 Yes I Can state award winners. In sports, our students won state championships in cross country, indoor and outdoor track and field, cheerleading, swimming, and wrestling. And one of our athletes finished her high school career with an impressive total of 9 state championships. We had a teacher who was among the 50 educators chosen for the Disney Imagination Campus Celebration. 2 teachers received a $20,000 grant from the Citadel to focus on STEM and computational thinking. And one of our bus drivers began her 43rd year behind the wheel. We are proud of our 21 school choice programs that focus on careers, college prep, healthcare, leadership, public service, technology, engineering, and other fields. Through career and technical education, we provide quality programs and hands-on training. And we continue to rank among the best in the state for the number of job credentials earned by our students. We've launched 2 new professional development programs that support teacher assistants in their efforts to become teachers, as well as provide career growth opportunities for teachers seeking to serve as school administrators. In the spirit of caring and giving, our school sponsored fundraisers, collection drives, and other activities to help people in need in our community. And we contributed more than $104,000 to support the United Way campaign. Thanks to the school bonds, we continue to take care of renovation and repair projects at schools across the county. We also are in the planning stages to build a new Greer Middle School and look forward to the groundbreaking ceremony next spring. In Gaston County Schools, we take great pride in our outstanding accomplishments, and we look forward to having more good news to share in the year ahead.
Hello, I'm Torvin Ross. Thank you for that wonderful round of applause. 10 years ago, it was an honor to represent Gaston County Schools as the Principal of the Year. Back then, I was at Greer Middle School, and now I have the pleasure of serving as the principal at Holbrook Middle School. I am delighted to introduce one of my colleagues who is the current Gaston County Principal of the Year. Her school is only a few miles away from Holbrook, and most of her students eventually become my students. I am grateful for all that Christian Kaiser does at Lowell Elementary School, and I want her and her staff to know that all of us here at Holbrook appreciate what you do to prepare students for success when they get to middle school. We know that Ms. Kaiser is a dedicated, effective leader who stands up for public education and cares about children. But here are a few things that you may not know about her. Growing up, Ms. Kaiser always aspired to become a teacher. Her first car was a 1981 AMC Spirit. She loves Mexican food. Tacos, enchiladas, nachos, and chicken floetas are her favorites. And if she could trade places for a day with a famous person, that famous person would be Dolly Parton. Now, how about a real round of applause for our Gaston County Principal of the Year, Christian Kaiser from Lowell Elementary School.
Thank you, Mr. Ross, for that introduction. And I want to tell everyone that I will save my rendition of 9 to 5 for another day. Before I share my thoughts with you about the new school year, I believe Dr. Booker left out one important piece of good news, and that is we have the Regional Superintendent of the Year. For the second time, Dr. Booker has been chosen by his colleagues in the Charlotte area to serve as the Regional Superintendent of the Year. This is a significant honor for Dr. Booker and Gaston County Schools, and I wanted to make sure that it got mentioned during our Convocation program. I know that each one of you is excited about welcoming our children back to school. Everything that you will do in the weeks and months ahead will matter. It will matter to our students, our parents, and our community. Teachers and all school employees are the most important people in the workforce because you give purpose to our next generation. You prepare our students for success, you encourage them to achieve, and you inspire them to go out into the world and do great things. I know that you have probably seen one of the Mission Impossible movies. The premise goes something like this. The main character is faced with an impossible task, but somehow by the end of the movie, the problem is solved and disaster is avoided thanks to the main character's acts of heroism. Each school year brings about a new mission, and at times it may seem a bit impossible. But educators can do anything if we concentrate on our people, our priorities, and our perseverance. Our students are our people. They give us purpose, and they are the reason why we are here. It is important for us to connect with students, parents, and colleagues. Spend the first few weeks of the new school year getting to know your students, parents, and the people around you. Start building a foundation for strong, supportive relationships that are based on trust and respect. Having that foundation will contribute to effective instruction and collaborative learning throughout the year. Make your students, your instruction, the standards for achievement, and academic growth top priorities for this year. Focus on what our students need in order to be successful, and don't let other things get in the way and divert your attention from what you are called to do. And that is to teach, support, and care for students. Make no mistake about it, teaching is a difficult job, and sometimes it might seem like you are never going to reach the finish line. Know that your work will take patience, resilience, and support from your colleagues and others in your life. It will also take perseverance. You have to keep working, keep trying, and keep doing what is best for students, no matter what happens or comes your way. This year, your mission is possible. As the stars of our classroom, you will provide plenty of action for our students, and you will keep them on the edge of their seats with exciting lessons and engaging activities. And when you encounter a challenge along the way, you will step up, face it head on, and take care of the situation, just like in the movies. And when we get to the end of the school year in May, I am very confident that you will be able to look back on all that has happened and take great pride in your heroic efforts.
It's time to make school happen.
It's time to learn, grow, and discover.
It's time to inspire success.
It's time for a great school year.
What a great message to get us going for this school year. I'd like to express my appreciation to everyone who took time to participate in our Convocation video. As I listened, I heard great words. Create a welcoming, safe environment. Build on the positive. Ask parents to go the distance as you challenge students and set high expectations. For our beginning teachers to have patience, count on their colleagues, and to trust their training. The teacher cam provided encouragement, commitment, excitement, flexibility, but most of all, building relationships. I don't know about you, but I was energized listening to them all. So it's a brand new year for Gaston County Schools, and I hope you are excited. Our students return on Wednesday, and we will take our first strides toward a productive and successful school year. If we look at each school day as a lap, then we have many of them to go to reach May. Whenever someone competes in a race, it might be a marathon, a triathlon, a fun walk, a motocross. There is a distinct beginning and there is an end. The school year is much like a race. And I think we consider graduation being our winner's circle when we celebrate our students completing their education journey in Gaston County Schools. But to make it across that graduation stage, it takes 13 years. It takes hard work, learning, growing, trial and error. It takes making mistakes and learning from them. It takes determination and perseverance, positive relationships, and sometimes a little help just is needed along the way. Graduation may be our grand celebration, but it takes victories in elementary, achievement in our middle schools, and wins in high schools to get us to that culminating event. Needless to say, preparing students for graduation is a process that takes a lot of time and effort. A recent article in the Harvard Business Review focused on personal growth and transformation highlighted why celebrating is a key to winning. You have to celebrate everything, even the things you may think are too small or insignificant, that maybe people wouldn't really care about normally, but you celebrate that advancement. If you think about birthdays, we celebrate them all. We don't just focus on 16 when you got a driver's license or the rites of passage that come along with turning 21. And of course, kidding those who have reached the big 5-0. So celebrating our school achievements should be like birthdays. Celebrate them all. Celebrating one achievement often leads to another achievement, and one more achievement, and yet another achievement. Earlier in our good news segments, I mentioned a student who had won 9 state championships during her high school career. Lauren Tolbert was able to celebrate her top wins in cross country and track and field because of years of training, working hard, and achieving little by little. She encountered many people who taught her, guided her, and challenged her. It took small victories, carving tenths of a second off of her times over her training years to get to where she won those state titles. Hannah Mullis represented us in the International Science Fair, but she started her winning path utilizing her research to present at the Gaston County Fair. She achieved different competition levels and saw success there, taking pride in those small achievements, but it ultimately led to her participating in the international event based on her research. Nathan Vasquez and Joey Whitmire became state-level officers in the Student Government Association because they kept a winning attitude beginning in elementary school, through middle school, and into high school, where they developed as emerging leaders. We could ask Lauren, Hannah, Nathan, Joey about who had an influence on their life. I am sure they would mention a teacher, a coach, a social worker, a counselor, a mentor, just some caring adult that made a difference, helping them to achieve, celebrate, and ultimately win. Have you ever worked a Sudoku puzzle? If you don't know what it is, think about a word search puzzle. But that word search puzzle is made with numbers. There's a big square with a 9x9 grid, and within that grid are 9 3x3 subgrids. So basically, it's a box with a bunch of small squares. In the squares, you place the numbers 1 through 9 so that each row and column, as well as the subgrids, contain the numbers 1 through 9. Sudoku can be challenging and frustrating, especially when you think you have a row or subgrid complete, and then you check the answers just to find out you have a few numbers out of place. Each square in the puzzle represents a win. When you have the right number in that one square, believe me, you feel achievement. When you celebrate every little square, you eventually have the subgrid squares correct. And when all the numbers on the grid are in the right place, you win. I bet you have experienced some victories already today. Maybe you picked the right lane this morning as you were driving through traffic. That's a win. Maybe the dentist called and could work you in for an appointment before school started. That's a win. Maybe you pulled into a full parking lot, couldn't find a space, but just as you were about to lap again, someone backed out and you got that space up front. That's a win. We all know that our classroom teachers make victories happen each and every day for our students. They may be small. It may take some time to get there, but a win is a win. When you see your students growing, making progress, accomplishing something, and enjoying what they're doing, it shows that your work is meaningful. I think of one of our elementary students who came back to school last year after spending a year in virtual learning. Well below grade on his BOG, he could have languished behind. His parents were there, but they had their own challenges to deal with. but a teacher connected with him. A small spark grew, and he improved throughout the year. Little small victories led to him not only passing the EOG, but scoring a high 5 on his EOG. That's a win. As we focus this school year on winning and celebrating what we accomplish, I know there will be setbacks. I know we're going to be challenged. And I know that the work you are called to do will seem impossible at times. But it's just like the wrong number in that square. Once you figure it out, the frustration dissolves and a sense of accomplishment fills you. That is a win. I remember several years ago when Christopher Turner from Bessemer City High School was selected to attend Brown University, an Ivy League school. It was a culmination of a successful career in Gaston County schools. From elementary teachers and principals to Diane Leeser, he wanted to thank each of them for what they had done. He had found success not only in his academics, A, B, and C's, but in his music career, all culminating in this day. Now, as he's a graduate of Brown University, I hope Ms. Hopkins, who is his counselor at Bessemer City, sees the impact of helping Christopher find his way to realizing his full potential. You know, there's a story about a fledgling company, and Apple founder Steve Jobs saying, we need a little more leadership. It's someone different than the founder myself. And he's reached out to John Scully, who was then the president of Pepsi. And Scully was well known for his Pepsi Challenge, where he had taken on Coca-Cola and increased Pepsi's market share. Jobs wanted that consumer market share expertise. But Scully was very successful. He said, why would I leave and do this? And through arguments, Jobs finally looked at him one night and said, if you want to spend the rest of your life selling sugared water, or do you want to join us and have a chance to change the world? Scully joined Apple. And through his 10 years of leadership, Apple went from $800 million in sales to $8 billion in sales. Through his leadership, he did change the world. On the first day of school, you will take the first strides towards changing the world during our 2022-2023 school year. I don't think any of us can be convinced otherwise. Education is the most important and most meaningful profession because of what teachers and all school employees do to influence children and have the ability to change lives, which ultimately changes the world. I encourage all of you to take a reflective moment before next Wednesday and set some personal goals for the coming year. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to see your students accomplish? And how will you work together to have those accomplishments lead to a big win? But the only way any of us can do this is to rely on our colleagues for support, to check in on each other, to be a resource for each other, to be an encouragement for each other. We will have those setbacks, but you will take them on. You will find out why they occurred, and you will work together to overcome them and then plan to move forward. Please know that all our principals, administrators, all the departments that support our schools are committed to seeing this year be a successful year as we head towards May 24th and cross the finish line on the last day of school. We want each one of you to take those small accomplishments so we as a collective group in May can celebrate big all the things that have been accomplished. In her article for the Harvard Business Review, Whitney Johnson wrote, celebrating achievements, great and small, is the high-octane fuel for further achievement. We don't just celebrate the win, we celebrate to win. My hope for Gaston County Schools is that this year will be one full of celebrating and winning. Thank you for being an educator, for taking the challenge of making a difference in the world. But more importantly, thank you for choosing to be a part of our Gaston County Schools family. We cannot do this without you. I hope you've enjoyed this convocation. Let's all go out and win.